afternoon, y'all, morning, whatever it is for you. Yeah, so I hope you've had a great day so far, and that whatever is in front of you, you will be able to accomplish whatever you set your mind to today, your heart, your hands, because that's what our life is about, right? The doing and the being and hanging out together. So we're gonna hang out together a little bit more, have a fun conversation. Excuse me. Gotta get some coffee in there. Yeah. Love these Uwala free sip bottles. We got these. I like clear ones because that way I can see how much I have left because I get so sad when I get to that last part of my coffee. Sorry. This cold I got a few weeks ago just wants to hang out, wants to hang around. And I would like it to go. Please go. Cold, I don't want you anymore. That's just what I like to say to it. But anyway, let me get us some coffee here. I like making my own cold brew at home because all the stuff that I get at any of the coffee shops and stuff is so sweet, and all the ones that I can buy at home. If I get any of those things from the store, I have to water them down because they're just way too sweet. And I'm trying to use better natural sweeteners, so we were using honey for a little while, and I absolutely love the taste of it in there. But I am sorry, y'all, if you haven't tried it before. Honey, after it, I like to use my bottle and then rinse it out and use it again multiple times. But honey makes that near impossible because it stinks. It stinks really bad after just a day or two. Oh, that is horrible. And it makes me think about, oh my goodness, why can I not remember his name? He's on YouTube and he does a lot of carnivore. Doctor somebody, I can see his face. Can't remember it right now. But he was talking about how he doesn't eat honey because it's bees throw up. That's what he called it. And I was like, oh, I can't get that out of my head now. But I still love honey and we will use it all the time. And if I'm going to make something that I can just eat right then, it's fine. But it does not work in my coffee anymore just because I can't use the bottle more than one day without having to I have to put vinegar in there and everything to try and get it out. Or I can use glass, which I do use. I try and use glass. At home I found these cute glass tumblers too, but it's just a little harder to throw in your bag. You can get them with handles or without, and they are just great, and I love them at home. And I take them with me sometimes. But if we're gonna be running around a lot, and I know I might end up, banging my thing around. I don't drop things. I'm not worried about dropping them very much, but if I'm going to know that I'm going to be banging around, and they're not insulated, not that these are at all either, but I can throw these in the cooler bag, and the other ones with the handles, or I was scared to get the ones without the handles because I thought, what do I hold on to? They're kind of slick. Glass is kind of slick when it gets any condensation or anything on it. So anyway, long discussion about how I drink my coffee. But what is his name? That's going to bug me. You guys can find him, I'm sure. His wife has a channel too, which I didn't watch very often, but they live in Tennessee, which is where I used to live, so I love that part too. Ken? No, it's not Ken Burns. Dr. Ken something. Ken Burns is not who it is. But it's something like that. So anyway, if you want to find it, but he called it that. And on the one hand, yes, that is true. That's how bees make the stuff. But oh my goodness, God gave us this wonderful gift in honey, so I absolutely love it. So we have tried it with maple sugar, which I love too. That one's fine, but that's just really, really expensive. So we don't use that one as much. I like to use that in baking some. But Sucanit is what we found that works the best. It's the least expensive of the other options that still gives us the benefits of a more natural sweetener. I used to do monk fruit for a little while, and yeah, there's still an aftertaste there. And stevia or stevia, however you want to say it, there is way too much stuff involved with that I do not like. Look at what people in South America use that for. It's not something that I want to be a part of. And the aftertaste, and oh my goodness, the stuff that it does to your belly. So if you've ever had any issues with that, know that you are not alone, because I tried when I first was doing keto or ketovore or whatever. I was doing mostly meat and bone broth and all those things. I was trying to eat those keto bombs, or I can't even remember who puts them out. But they can do one tiny thing with stevia in it. I'm just gonna say it the way that I did it, with stevia. This is such a gorgeous overlook that I'm driving by. I wish I could show you a picture of it, but I'm driving, so that's not safe. But I would do one of those, and yeah, just distress is what it causes. So no, that one is off the table for me. And if other people don't have troubles with it, they can do it, but I really don't. It's not something that I think fits into the great natural sweetener category. So you can decide on that if you want to. If you like it, go for it. But I would prefer plain organic cane sugar to that. I will not do that. No. A long time ago when that what was that? Was it Splenda? No, yeah, Splenda. When Splenda came out, I think we used to drink a ton of iced tea, and my husband liked it sweet, and so we were trying to get away from the sugar. So I remember you could buy those big old bags of Splenda, and I bought one of them, and taste was fine, but common sense to know that that's not really great for you either. But this was a long time ago. But I remember some had spilled on the counter of our house back in Tennessee that was very porous, shall we say. It had all kinds of buddies that liked to come in and find us there, because it was not a house that we owned, and the owners of the house were not too interested in keeping it up and pest free. So we had squirrels in our attic. We had all kinds of other buddies that liked to come in. One of the summers we had a very big ant infestation, and they went for anything sweet, really anything, but especially sweet. But I remember laughing because there was a little trail of Splenda where I made our iced tea, and the ants were purposefully walking around it. And I thought, oh my goodness, okay, if ants don't even want this, I don't think it needs to be going in my body either, because they're really not that particular about most things. They will eat whatever they think is useful and good. And obviously there's nothing useful and good in that to provide food for their babies. So we quickly got rid of that one and didn't do it. So anyway, this is a long discussion on my coffee. But yes, so natural sweeteners, we are down to Sucanat. I had not heard of it until I had done some Walter Price stuff, and Susie Fallon, I think is her name, for goodness gracious, it's been a while since I've read these things. And then the other guy he's a doctor out in California. He's an awesome guy. He wrote a book called Cancer in the Water, I remember, and I can't remember what else. But I just listened to a lot of these people over the years, and have tried this and that, and tried to find what is the best for our bodies, for our health, for because this is kind of a thing. Maybe this is what we'll talk about today. As we go through life, I think we have to realize that though there is all this medical information out there, and all this research on stuff, we have to remember that we are a study of one. There is no other body like yours. There is no other response system like yours. And though these medical people or research people can put out these studies and information on what is what is good for the majority of people, there's all these outliers of things. And statistics are very easy to lie with. There's this book, I used to listen to Tim Ferriss a long time ago, and he's the one that I think I found this book from. It was How to Lie with Statistics. And it's just a short little book. I mean, it's like not thick, I don't know, like 150 pages maybe. And he was the guy that wrote that book, who I don't remember. Just shows you how easily it is to lie with statistics. And to the same point, I think it's very funny because, like I said, I listen to a lot of audiobooks and about business, or I've listened to a lot recently about what's innate talent, what's hard work talent. And in those books, I think I did Atomic Habits, The Talent Code. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. There were a bunch of them that I did, or I listened to some of them, read some of them, and the same study would be shown in lots of books, but shown from opposite points of view. So that doesn't really look like opposites. So like opposite points of view, uh, to prove their point. And it's just like, oh my goodness. I think there's probably a Malcolm Gladwell one in there too. Talking to strangers, or I don't know which other one he had that was more about that. I mean, he has Outliers, which is a really good book. Um, he's a whole aside. Like, I think that a lot of times he will lead you to whatever point he's trying to get you to. So I'm not sure that his stuff is all honest either. Um, but anyway, we just have to be really careful about believing any kind of statistical stuff. And we need to realize that our bodies are unique, that we need to be finding what works for ourselves. And then each of your children will be completely different. Your spouse is different. And we try and put these blanket statements on health and what it means to live a healthy life. We all want to identify ourselves by what we eat or how we exercise, or just there's like the keto camp. I'm a keto, I'm a carnivore, I'm a all these things, but maybe all of one or all of the other doesn't do well for your body. Maybe it really does. Like, I know some people who have done awesomely on carnivore. I know other people who struggled with it really badly. I know in my own family, I have some people in my family who really have to eat all the time. I can go a long time without eating and it doesn't really bother me, except for that I'm realizing as I get older that it bothers my body. It doesn't bother my mind. I mean, like, I can go, I might even realize that I'm hungry, but it doesn't affect my mood or stuff until I get to a certain point. Like, I cannot eat forever and be totally fine. But there have been plenty of days that if we're busy doing something, I'll be like, oh, we completely forgot to eat anything today. And some of my other family members will look at me and be like, what? How do you forget? Like, I don't know. How do you not forget, right? Because you only know your frame of reference. And so then as I got to my 40s, some of these things I've probably had for a long time, but I ended up finding out that my body doesn't like my body sometimes. And so it started attacking itself and trying to figure out what was going on. What it was this gradually intensifying event. And like I said, I look back at my life and I see that some of these things have been a part of my life for a really long time, where my body just was not happy with my body. And then I was doing all these other things to it in the name of good health and stuff that were probably stressing it out and aggravating it more, to the point where I ended up with something that I don't really want to have in my life, that I will probably need to take medication at least for, I'm hoping there's some chance that you can take medication for this thing for a few years and then be able to taper off, and maybe it won't ever come back. But a part of me is too scared to try that right now, and I'll just have to see after I get to that 2 or 3 year point if I'm willing to go off of it for 6 months or something and see if it helps, because my worry is not in the going off and the thing coming back, but that maybe the medicine won't work afterwards again. So I have to sort through that myself, and there aren't really any bad side effects to the medication that I'm using to help with this, but I remember what it's like to not have it. And so I was trying all these things. I was trying all these carnivore, I did keto, I did vegetarian for a while. I didn't go full vegan because who can live without butter? Like, as we say in my family, as I say all the time, my children parrot back to me, everything's better with butter. And I fully believe that. So there was no way I was ever going vegan. And the science behind that was never sustainable to me. I mean, I'd known way too many vegans who had been very unhealthy. So, if that's your thing and you feel like you're doing great, go for it. Again, everybody is a study of one, and that might do well for you. It was not going to do well for me. Half of the things that vegans have to eat, a lot of soy, a lot of other stuff, are really antagonistic to my body. So it was not going to work for me. So I think that's the thing that we always have to look at when we're trying to change our life, change our lifestyle, change our bodies. Look at the research out there, dig deeply. Like, don't take the first things that are available to you. Really try to dig deeper and follow the little trails. Like, we have an awesome amount of research available to learn all kinds of things. And yeah, some of these papers I read, I go to like PubMed, and the National Institute for Health has all of these abstracts and papers on there, and you can follow all these little wandering pieces at the bottom. Like, you go find what they used for their research, and then you can go to each of those, and it takes you down a little trail. So you get all these rabbit trails, and half the time some of those things that I read make absolutely no sense. Like, what are you talking about? I don't remember my chemistry or my whatever that well, and I didn't go that deeply into it to have this nursing or doctor background. So I can only understand it from some level, but that level has served me well. If I am willing to just be inquisitive and to try and look through things and figure out what correlates here to my experience, to my children's needs, to my spouse's need, to whatever, and try things. But this is a big but. Only try one thing at a time. Otherwise, it is very hard to see what is working and what isn't working. So, I just recently came across Dr. Stacy Sims. I know she's been out there for a while, and I actually found her more. I think I'd seen her along, but I found her through another channel that I really liked. Erin Giles, I think is her name. She's a cutie. Absolutely adorable. I wish we lived somewhere. I don't even know where she lives, but I think she would be a fun person to hang out with. So maybe someday I'll get to meet her and we can hang out at something. But she was introducing that because she's going through the perimenopause part of life and had come across this study about how to exercise better and eat better for the time of life that she's in. And while that part is behind me, I have still struggled to what is going on? I mean, I've always been an active person. I've always, like I said, I'm medium about everything. Like, I am not the twig person, never will be. My body is built for muscle, but I've never been fat either. I've never struggled with it on that side. But I was starting to get a belly pooch that I never had before. And yeah, I'm getting older. Okay, so this is just what happens. But no, I know there are other people out there, but I'm also not willing to spend hours and hours and hours at the gym. Like, I've got too much other life to do. And I want to eat healthfully for my body, for the things that are going on in my body, and to sustain that the best way that I can. But yeah, so I've been working on that and reading that, trying to see what parts of this can I apply. Like, I can't do collagen. The stuff in there, the histidines and all that stuff, they do not do well. All those amino acids, a lot of those are not good for my body, for my response. It puts my body into high alert, to fight or flight system that go all haywire. And so I can't do those. I did them for a long time. I was drinking bone broth all the time, and I was, doing all these things, and my poor body. I mean, I feel so sad for it now. I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be torturing you. I was trying to do good for you. But this is, again, where it comes back to, remember that it's a study of what? That you don't have to do something just because your best friend is doing it and having great results. Try part of it. Try and see if it works for you. It really might not. It really might. It's a 50-50 chance on things. But introduce things slowly and try them a little at a time so that you can see what's working and what's not. Because I remember, I'm an all-in kind of person most of the time. I used to be very much all in or nothing. And this has been the refining of my age, I guess, that I'm so thankful for, is that the moderating part of having tried a lot of things that didn't do well is that now I walk into them more slowly. I try to give myself grace and to not want or expect results to happen immediately, so that I'm disappointed if, within a week or two, something isn't changing. Because there's a long haul to life and to health stuff that we really have to plug into, and we have to acknowledge there's no getting there faster, whether you yell and scream about it or whether you do it slow and steady and introduce things at a more moderate pace. It's not going to rush it. Like, yes, I could go lose weight tomorrow by not eating or drinking. I can fast and lose some weight, but it's not longevity. It's not going to help my body continue to get better and to grow stronger and to do well. So I want to be looking at things for the long haul. I want to be able to be a grandmom that can get on the floor and play with my grandkids. I want to be able to still be walking around. If I live to 90 or 100, I want to be able to be active, and for my mind to be agile, and for all of these things to still be in good working order. And so if that is my goal, if that's my long-term goal, then why do I think I need to always rush to get there in such a quick amount of time? And so I've had to learn how to moderate myself, how to just chill out a little bit. And to realize that what works for me might not work for my daughter. It doesn't work for my son. It might not work for my husband. And what works for them isn't going to work for me. And then also, there are different times in life. There are different times in life when you can eat things and your body will be able to handle it. And then something happens and it can't handle it anymore. And, I've had a lot of people in my circle of friends or acquaintances who had things like not having any allergy to peanuts or shellfish or anything like that, and then they hit 40 and all of a sudden they were deathly anaphylactic shock, deathly allergic to things. One of my friends, I remember it happened, she was on a business trip and she had eaten shrimp or mussels or whatever, for most of her life, had them all the time. And then on this business trip, she had whichever one it was, some shellfish, I don't remember. And it just her normal meal that she had. And within an hour, she was like almost dying and found out I can't have shellfish anymore. And it just happened overnight, really. And so we need to realize that there's times and seasons to everything in life, including what we eat and how we eat, and what our bodies can digest. And we don't realize how many assaults there are on our bodies throughout the day. Just the stuff that's in our environment, the things that we use to clean, the things that other people use to clean when you go in their homes or in their businesses. You go in everywhere, there's always scents going on now. You've got like candle warmers, and then you've got incense going on in a place, and then you've got perfume stuff, and all of those things are very hard for our bodies to ingest and digest. And some bodies are going to refuse to do that well. And so we just need to be gracious with ourselves and with our bodies, and remember that we don't have to change overnight for change to happen. We can let it be a gradual process, and we can enjoy the fact that we always get to learn something new about ourselves and our body. It's not the same old. So if you're ever getting bored, just wait a little while, because something will throw a wrench in the works. So anyway, hopefully there was something fun and entertaining and hopefully informative in there for you today. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Remember that you are important, that you are loved, that you are needed, you are wanted by those that are in your life. And even if that's only one person, just remember that person needs you and you are loved. So you guys, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy it. Get out there and get a little walk in, get some exercise, enjoy some sunshine, and have a great day. Okay, bye guys.